Hey, I'm Kevin,
EC here.
and we're finally back after a hiatus. EC, please explain our absence.
Kevin's been busy and he's been ignoring the channel.
Right, no, that's not the truth. EC has been obsessed with remote-controlled cars and trucks and so forth. So we've been gone for a while, but we're finally back.
Yes, we are, and hopefully we're back with a bang because this is my latest acquisition.
Yes, it is.
The Autoart 991 GT3 RS, Porsche GT3 RS, very hotly anticipated model.
Yep.
Yeah, today we are going to find out for you guys whether or not this is worthy to add into your collection.
Yeah, whether it's worth the wait. Let's get into it.
Go! Right, so as usual, we're going to start with the front of the model, and
Yep.
I think it's fair to say that both you and I, we are fans of the actual car.
Yeah, I mean, the 991 generation just looks awesome to me.
Correct, and we both have been looking forward to this model as well.
Yep.
So, but because we are hands-on diecast, we're going to be subjecting this model to the super high standards of
Yes,
criticism.
we're gonna scrutinize every detail.
Every detail for you, the viewer, right? So bang off, just starting off with the front. You know what? It's actually a little bit underwhelming.
Really?
I would think so, right? Okay, I'll start with the bad first, right? The headlamp clusters and the these tail lamp indicator,
Side indicators.
yeah, the side indicators. I've definitely seen much better efforts from Autoart.
Yeah.
It's lacking a bit of depth. This little frame that that inside the lamp cluster looks a bit cheap, and the bottom bulb doesn't look great at all, in my opinion.
Okay. Okay.
Side indicator lamp is plasticky as well. I don't know. That's my bad.
Okay. Let's hear the good.
Okay, my good is the meshing is fantastic.
Yeah,
I do
yeah.
like the meshing. Meshing is really, really good.
Okay.
The overall shape of the 991, the GT3 RS, especially with this, protruded middle section around the front, very nicely done. Yeah, well, what do you think?
I mean, pretty much what you said. I wouldn't be as harsh though. I mean, the high beam and low beam lights, I think they're decently well executed. I mean, it's kind of hard to do it exactly like the real car, but I think it's pretty close. For the side indicators, they actually did the grooves, like the groove lines, which I thought was a nice touch to the real car. It looks like it's missing the windshield washer nozzle, although
Yeah.
I'm not sure if that's standard on all GT3 RSs, but
Yep.
from the pictures I've seen, they all have it. Then for the meshing, at first I was like, you can't really see anything behind it, but then I looked at the real car. Yeah, you also can't really see anything
It's
behind it.
very
So
fine,
it's pretty
yeah.
accurate to the real car. And it's not that it's blocked off, it's transparent. You can see behind it. So.
Yep. You can see something just behind,
Yeah.
right at the back, but the meshing is so fine, it makes it a bit difficult.
Yeah.
There's also very nice meshing work
Yep.
right on top of the front bumper, which is good as well.
And on that point, the metal emblem is also well done, not the cheapo decal. I mean, it's typical AA standards, good.
Yep, correct. The basic, like the Venturi effect or whatever these aerodynamic lines are
Yeah.
across the front bumper. It's yeah. I mean, overall, I'll say it's okay. It's not fantastic. I was
Yeah.
a bit surprised, let down by the headlamp clusters, but I think the overall shape and stance of it is still good.
Yeah, agreed.
Cool.
Okay,
Move
let's
on.
move on.
Right, the front. You call it the front.
Yeah.
Right, the front of the GT3 RS. Well, not too much to say really. A lot of plastic. Right.
Yeah.
I think it would be nice. I think it would be fantastic if one day we see that Autoart actually puts, significant detail into this. All the plastic outlinings.
Yeah,
like around engine compartments and fronts. But I don't think that day will come. Not at this price point. Anyway, the flocking in the boot, if you can call it a boot.
Yeah.
Pretty good. There's a tiny little. I think it's a first aid kit.
Yeah, I saw that
Right
as
at the
well,
bottom
yeah.
as well. But besides that, not much else to say. Magnets are there, and I think it's worth mentioning as well that this composite, this plastic hood, the operation feels really good. I think feels pretty solid.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but yeah, that's pretty much it. What do you think?
I like the new version of the magnets that they're doing here. Instead of the circular magnets that kind of like, usually they put it like maybe around here or
Yep.
something. This is like integrated in. So it's almost like a hidden magnet.
Yep.
Which I think is really nice. The molding is okay. I mean, it's really basic. They bothered to get little details like the latch and stuff.
Yeah.
The catch. So overall, yeah, not much to say here though. It's just pretty, yeah.
Okay, cool. Let's move on.
All right. Okay, moving on to the side. Instantly, I like the stance. I mean, just look at the overall stance of the car. And if you look at the front and rear fenders, the fender gap with the wheel is actually really good. I mean, on some models, they do such a good job, but then they mess up this gap part. Either the offset is wrong or there's too big a gap here. They did that really well. If you look at the brake calipers, they have the Porsche branding on them, as well as the brake discs. They look pretty well done as well, pretty accurate to the real car. And a nice touch is they actually got the Michelin branding on the tires. That's a big
rare.
deal. I mean, they didn't get the Pilot Super Sports and all that, but they at least got the Michelin branding, which is cool.
Yes, that's the realism.
Yeah. The side skirts look good. Everything else looks pretty good to me. Even the what's this called, like the diffuse, the front gills or something. Yeah, they put the mesh in there too, which I mean, unless you really shine the flashlight in there, you wouldn't see it. But they put the effort, so I think that's really good. What about you? What do you think?
So I said I was a bit underwhelmed when we started to dig into the front of the model. This is where I'm starting to feel that, now I'm really happy with this model.
You know why?
Why?
Because of the wheels.
Because of the wheels.
Yes.
Exactly. Because we know that the wheels is a very big talking point, in the model community, right? A lot of people are saying that the rear rim should be a lot more concave, than it was. I think the prototypes were actually pretty off, right?
Yeah.
It's good to see that Autoart took in the feedback. Yes, it is a bit more concave. Yeah, but still not quite as concave as the 1.1 car, I think. But I think it's possible. But beyond that, the rims themselves, the paint finish, the matte finish, the brake discs, and the rotors as well.
Yeah.
Ooh,
it's nice. It's nice.
Very nice. There's other nice details as well, right? Like, for example, the front wing mirrors.
Yeah.
There's a little aerodynamic vent.
Oh, I didn't even notice that.
Yeah.
So they got that in as well in the molding. Yeah.
Correct, they got it in, which is great. Like you said, the meshing on the front.
It's called the gills or whatever.
Wheel arch race
Somebody
fence.
will comment and tell us what it's actually
What's
called.
the actual name? Yeah, exactly. And overall, the ride height, the proportions of the wheels to the model is fantastic. I think the front 3/4 view of this model is really good.
It's really nice.
Really, really good.
Wheels, man. Yeah, the wheels.
Yeah.
Alright.
Let's move on.
Okay, let's move on.
So the rear of the 991 GT3 RS, I'm just gonna put the obvious thing aside for a start,
Right.
And not talk about the rear wing. The rest of the rear, initially, so this is the interesting part, right? Initially, I was gonna say that I was once again underwhelmed with the quality of the tail lamps.
Yeah.
But me and Kev just had a bit of a quick discussion, and we've been comparing pictures of the real tail lamp cluster to the model. It's not actually Autoart isn't that off.
Yeah, I mean, I thought there was a 3-dimensional molding to the. I mean, it wasn't just flat, but it's actually just a flat curved piece on the real car, so it's accurate.
Pretty much. I mean, I think there's still a little bit of depth which Autoart could have probably improved on. I think especially around the very very sides of the tail lamp cluster. I think on the actual car there's like 3 vertical vents or something like that.
Yeah.
But I mean, there's extra really nitpicking.
It's actually there. It's just not really obvious. If you look carefully, it's there.
Yeah, it's quite hard to pick up.
Yeah.
But besides that, right, I think overall there isn't that much to say, right? The tailpipes are there. It's not
color.
really correct color, the matte finish. Actually, it's worth mentioning that this whole model there's a nice blend of matte finishes and gloss finishes. The meshing round the back again, I do like that very nicely done. All the lettering and the badging is nicely done too, and not to mention the trademark engine cover too, right? The aluminium engine cover.
Totally agree.
Well, what do you think?
Yeah, even I mean, everything you said, I agree with. And if you add on this mesh here, too, I mean, that's a nice detail they put on, even though people probably won't really see it. The lens, I mean, like it's correct to the real car, like you said, but somehow looks plasticky still a little. Not sure why. The license plate and the logo here, I mean, the positioning and everything is well done as usual, AA standards. Just now when we're on the side, I forgot to mention though, because the screws holding the rear wing, they're kind of off scale, like majorly off scale.
Yeah, actually that is true.
So that's a major obvious thing. But the rest of it is actually really well executed.
Yeah. So the thing that we haven't really talked about is the wing.
Yes.
The wing is huge just on the rear car, and I think that's what will give this model, that's what gives this model so much presence.
Yeah. Definitely.
But you're right. The screws,
They're,
fitted
yeah.
screws are a bit off.
Yeah.
You are correct.
It's not right.
If that was blown up to 1/1 scale, those would be
A bit ginormous. It's like the size of my palm. Yeah.
Yeah,
Huge.
that is true. And you do have big hands.
Yeah. Okay. Good point. Good point.
Okay, cool. Let's move on.
All right. All right, on to probably the world's most boring engine compartment. I think the Autoart people probably saw the real kind of, yay, no effort required.
I
You
do
just,
think so.
But-
If I were them, I would
yeah,
think that.
like the R&D team who looks at the CAD drawings and like, yay,
Yeah.
can go home early. So like, I think the details are reasonably well done. I mean, the real car, there's not much to see. They bothered with the Mobile One engine oil decal. There's some nice decals here too, following what the real car has. And then the disappointing part, which I think EC saw earlier too, is the massive glue stains here for the rear windscreen. And then the carbon fiber here is also well done, just like on the interior. That's about it. And the meshing, you can see through it, so it's realistic
Yeah,
to the fans and stuff. Yeah.
correct. The meshing, you actually can see the, like you said, the fans through this meshing. There's the meshing through the the aluminium engine cover on the outside.
Yeah.
The meshing is actually see-through as well.
Okay.
Like light shines through.
Yeah.
But like you said, I think agreement and everything is there's only so much they can do. The carbon fiber work is nice, but what was shocking, and you don't see this in auto arts often, is the glue stains, not just at the windscreen, but also the glue stains around the carbon fiber bits here.
Oh, right.
A lot of excess glue, which you don't, I would expect to see that on an Auto or GT Spirit, but not an Auto Art.
Thanks for mentioning that. Yeah, I guess they didn't think you'd look there, so, you know.
Perhaps.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess that's pretty much it.
That's it, yep.
Cool.
Right, on to the inside of the GT3 RS. It's a lot of black, basically a sea of black, but they did play with the materials and the textures pretty well. So you have some matte blacks, some glossier blacks, and then you also have the carbon fiber trimmings. So you get the carbon fiber trimmings, which is really nice, the detail on the back of the seats.
Oh yeah.
And then also on the console, you also have some carbon fiber trimming. And also there's a lot of switches, I mean, in Porsches nowadays, right? So all the switches, they managed to get that down pretty well. The decals and everything look good. Even the fabric door pulls look decent. Only criticism really is, I mean, it looks just plasticky overall, but they did get the details right.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I was actually ready to I was expecting the interior to be very disappointing.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Because we've seen, ever since Autoart went to the composite range, it felt like their quality of interiors was kind of on the down.
They were
down.
getting a bit lazy with the interior.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
For this though, I think it exceeded my expectations, primarily because my expectations were low to begin with. I agree the materials are plasticky.
Yeah.
But they did get, like you said, this whole center console, I think that was very nicely done. The seats themselves, although we know it's very plasticky, but the type of plastic used on the seats, a little bit different to what was used on the dashboard, so it looks a bit better.
Yeah.
Strangely enough, right, Autoart gets things like, if you look really carefully, underneath the seat, there's actually, they actually replicated the pool, the handle for you to slide the seat forward and backward.
Attention to detail.
Exactly, but at the same time, they could mess up the gear knob to the extent that it looks rather phallic, if you know what I mean.
Only you would notice things like that, but yeah, now that you mention it, I will
Yeah.
not look at that gear knob the same way again. Yeah, thanks.
I don't know, when I first saw the picture of this, that gear knob just looks
Wrong.
wrong
Right,
in many
okay.
ways.
Okay.
But other than that, I think overall, I think it's, I would say, a decent interior. I won't say it's good or fantastic. I would say it's decent.
Yeah, even actually, I just noticed that the badge on the steering wheel also is well done. Not just the decal, it's actually a metal
Yep.
emblem. Yeah.
The design, the detail around the steering wheel, the detail around the, like the rev counters,
Yep.
the headlamp switches, the silver trimmings. Yeah, like you said.
Okay, let's
Right,
move on.
let's move on.
Yeah.
So, conclusion time for the Autoart 991 GT3 RS.
Yep, can't wait to hear your score.
Yes. Like we said earlier, this is a very, very hotly anticipated model that we both wanted
For quite some time now.
for quite some time. I settled on the white. You're gonna wait for the lava orange.
Yep.
Yeah, but I think I might get the lava orange too when it comes out. So initially, when I got this model, Kevin, you know that I was over the moon.
Yeah, you were drooling all over it.
Correct. It looked fantastic, but when we made this video, the level of detail that we dug into, I was kind of disappointed in some things, right? The headlamp clusters, some details weren't that fantastic, but
Right.
in terms of what Autoart did well, you know, the overall stance, the proportions, the rims, you know, and how they captured the aggression of the actual car. It kind of, it still makes me love this model.
Yeah.
But the final thing for me is that you have to remember how much this model is worth, how much we have to pay for it.
Yeah, which is a ridiculous amount.
It is a ridiculous amount. That is, you know, it was probably signature money from like a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So based off that fact, that Autoart's pricing is still doesn't really make sense.
Yeah.
I can't award this, no matter how much I love this model, I
Yeah.
can't award it anything higher than an 8 out of 10.
Oh my gosh. I'm surprised. I'm surprised.
Okay, I
Oh,
want to hear
man.
your score.
Okay, so I mean, like, basically everything you just said is kind of what I was gonna say. For me, the car, I mean, like, all the details are there. It's almost like I'm conflicted because I feel like they executed everything very accurately to the 1.1 car, but yet somehow some areas like the tail lights, I mean, if you look at it, you can't really complain because it looks like the real car, but something's missing. Like, just doesn't look as good as maybe like some of the other models we reviewed, like the G500. It's a totally different car, but somehow that feels more substantial. Not just because it's diecast and it's composite, but something just feels different. The interior on this, I think, was better, much better than the Hennessy we just reviewed. So I think that was something that was very positive for me. But for this car, the thing that really steals the show is like we mentioned earlier, which is the wheels, tires. I mean, the whole stance is really amazing.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, that's why I like GT, Spirit, and Auto. There's no opening parts, right? But the stance and everything, they always get right. So for all those reasons, I'll cut to the chase. I'm giving it, you're going to be surprised, an 8.5.
Whoa!
Yeah, I know, right? Because the way I review is kind of different. I think, like, for me, there's no engine detail because there's not much of an engine bay, but the representation of the real car is well done. Like, there weren't many complaints other than glue stains from me. The rest of it was pretty decently well done.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the very first time in history that Kevin's rating an Autoart model of an extreme car higher than me.
I'm fair. You know, I rate things fairly. What can I say?
Well, so I guess that kind of wraps up the review. Thank you for watching. If you've enjoyed what you've seen, do subscribe. We'll be posting stuff up soon.
Yeah, and really look forward to your comments, actually. So.
Oh yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Please
And
do.
Apologies for the delay, as Kevin had explained earlier.
Yes.
So until next time, it's
Yep.
been Hands on Diecast.
Bye-bye.